Today, we're going to be ranking every single 2025 Philadelphia Philly based on how much pressure they're under. Be joined by Luke, of course, the two Phillies guys. Parker is busy, focusing on March Madness, I guess.
She's
But
doing bad at.
yeah, yeah, which Luke is beating him at. So next episode, we'll definitely focus on that plenty, I'm sure, when March Madness is wrapped up. But yeah, we're gonna take. I said every Philly from 2025, every Philly so far. They'll call guys up, they'll make trades, but the
Well,
opening
maybe
day
we'll just have to
roster,
revisit it when they do that kind of stuff. So
yeah, we'll add them to the list of how much pressure they're under. So let's jump right into it. Here's our tier list that we have. We got all the Phillies. And the tiers are make or break, which is they are under the most pressure possible, basically. Next is STP, which I'll turn over to Luke to explain, our second level of pressure.
yes, for you science nerds just like me, STP is standard temperature and pressure, 0 degrees Celsius at 1 atmosphere of pressure. Um, Kind of said it as a joke, and no one took it seriously. So our second tier is standard temperature and pressure. Guys who are under pressure, but they're not under the most pressure, but they're not also chilling. They're kind of like right there, at the level where they've got a standard amount of pressure, hence STP.
I think it's fitting, yeah. And
I
shout
think so
out all the
too.
science nerds who didn't even need that explanation. I'm sure there's
Exactly. If you
so
got
many of
that right
you.
away, kudos to you. I'm proud of
Yeah.
you.
Comment if you did. We'll trust you. Next is the just do you, right in the middle, our middle tier, which is we trust you. There's not a lot of pressure, but we need you to keep doing what you're doing. Like, don't regress. Just do you. And then we have first impressions. There's some new guys, and they're kind of graded on a different scale sometimes. And then last we have chillin', which is guys who are just chilling. Very minimal
Hmm.
pressure on those guys. So here we go. They are grouped. So we'll kind of go in order by position groups here. And so starting off with catchers, Luke, the best position.
Yes.
We're recording this the day after JT Realmuto almost single-handedly handed the Dodgers their first loss, and he's
Yeah,
first
that
on the
was
list.
an impressive performance by him.
Dude,
Um,
I'm so glad he's playing that well. So how much pressure do we
yeah,
think JT is under this year?
man, I feel like JT is kind of just do you. Like, not a lot of pressure, but he's got to be, a good catcher still, which obviously last night we saw that. I think more so than catching though is hitting. Like, we got to see some bat movement
Mhm.
out of him because that's slowed down the last couple of years for sure. That's my thought. What do you got, Owen? What do you think?
Yeah, I agree about the bat for sure, especially the postseason last year. He was non-existent, basically. I
Yeah.
think my initial reaction would be that we go STP because he's in a
Mm,
contract year. He's
yeah.
34. We're not sure if he's going to be back next year. Marshawn is like waiting in the wings to
Yep.
be able to take over if JT slips. So I see your case for just do you. I think we're between those two. I would go
Yeah.
STP just
I
because of
think
the
SCP
contract
is
year.
fair. I think that's a good thought with the contract year for sure.
Hopefully we can bring him back, but no guarantees. We would love to have JT as long as we can. But he is 34. Preview of Schwarber. Him and Schwarber
Yeah.
contract years huge this year. And then his backup, Rafael Marchand. I think we can safely put him in first impressions because we've seen
Yeah.
him here and there,
A
but
little
he's
bit,
never
but
actually been the starter.
yeah. I mean, I think it says a lot that they kept him. I mean, I know it was obviously because of some contract things as
Yeah.
well, and just being able to keep both him and Stubbs. But the fact that they kept him kind of on that Phillies roster and sent Stubbs down just so that they could keep them both, like, I think that says a lot. So I think first impressions is a good place to be. He's got to have that good first impression.
Because yeah, he's gonna get a couple of opportunities on JT's rest
Yeah.
days, and like we'll see. We're not expecting him to be
Hmm.
amazing, but if he shows flashes, we'll be excited about him.
Absolutely.
Next, we have Bryce Harper. This is an interesting one.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like this is hard. I don't know if you go just do you or if you go chillin'. Like, I feel like Bryce
Mm.
Harper could go in a big slump this year. I mean, please don't let that happen. But I feel
We
like it could
prefer he
happen,
not.
and it wouldn't matter at all, in my opinion.
Mm.
Like, I mean, it would affect our team in the sense of we probably wouldn't do as
Yeah.
well, but I don't think it would affect how people feel about him. I don't think it would affect what Philly feels about him. So
Mm.
that kind of leads me towards just chilling, but also could just be just do you, because if Harper just does him, we're gonna do fine.
Yeah, this is kind of like this is a pivotal deciding like what angle are we looking at this from? Like the pressure
Yeah.
for team success, then yeah, there's more pressure on him because if he's not playing well, then the team is going to suffer. But like personal reputation, yeah, if Bryce
Hmm.
Harper has a down year,
Yeah.
like it's not the end of the world. He could have a down year and we go into the playoffs and it's like, well, he's going to turn it on. Like we
Yeah.
wouldn't be that
Exactly.
worried. I was thinking of this as a bit more team success oriented because, like,
Yeah.
yeah, we would not fault Bryce Harper that much if he had a down year, but there are people out there who would turn on a dime on
Absolutely.
him. Like,
Yeah.
not everyone's as loyal as us, so I think just do you because it's still like,
Uh-huh.
hey, we trust you, Bryce, but
Yep.
also like
You
don't
need to do
hit
your Bryce
below
Harper things.
250.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Exactly.
still hit over 20 home runs. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
there's
think
still
just to
some
use a
level of
great spot for
expectation.
Bryce. Yeah.
So it's tough with the talented guys because like we're holding them to a higher standard. But
Yeah.
speaking of talented guys, we're holding to a high standard with massive contracts. Trey Turner, who I would say is under a pretty. I'm looking top two here because
Yeah.
they paid him a ton of
That's
money, and I don't think he's lived up to it.
100% he has not lived up to it. We've seen some flashes of good Trey Turner. Even in these first couple games, he's had some good hits. He's had some clutch hits,
Been
but
great this year.
he still hasn't lived up to what we paid him when he came to Philly. And
Mhm.
I don't know how many years he has left on his contract with us because
Yeah, a lot. I think he signed an 11-year deal, and
yeah, I
this is
think it
his
was
third year, so like
yeah, so
7 years.
he's got a lot of years.
Yeah.
Um, honestly, right now, I feel like just based on performance last couple years and the inability to perform in the playoffs, I think you have to throw him in that top tier.
Make or break. Okay. I agree. I think that there is a lot of pressure
Again,
on him.
again,
Does the
looking at it,
contract like
I
he's
don't
gonna
think
be here?
I think yeah, I think but if we're going from the aspect of looking at it from team success, if Trey Turner does not
Hmm.
perform, that will, I think, be part of what makes or breaks team
You're right.
success.
Yeah,
I think that
he's
is a
gonna get like
big
if he
part.
doesn't do
He's a
well.
he is a crucial part of team success. And so,
Yeah.
again, if we're looking at it from team success standpoint, I think it's make or break. If we're looking at it from a
Hmm.
contract standpoint, along with team success, I think you throw them at standard temperature pressure, STP.
You're right. This is 2025, and like we're
Mhm.
kind of looking at 2026 also, but this is a shorter term. Yeah, like if Trey Turner has a third straight, again, not bad, but like a third
Yeah.
straight good year, we need a great year from Trey Turner.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm good with that. Trey Turner, make or break, have a great year, Trey, and he's gotten off to a
Yes.
fantastic start. Just keep it going.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, next we have Mr. Almost traded himself, Alec Boehm, also
I
under a lot of pressure.
I feel like this one is maybe the most straightforward one on this team. You got to put him in make or break.
I
I
agree.
I don't think that there's even a debate about this one. I think it speaks
I,
for itself. I think the way that last season ended speaks for itself. Yeah, put him ahead of Trey. He is the most
yeah, like if
make or
we're
break
ordering
player
within the
on this
tiers.
team. I think that's what needs to happen. Yeah, make or break for Alec
Mhm.
Boehm.
Alec Boehm, I don't think we'll have anyone after this who's under more pressure than Alec Boehm. Like
Agreed.
this is the year for him.
100%.
Yeah, definitely under the most pressure. I don't know if we'll do that with all the tiers. We'll see. Maybe we do that at the end.
Yeah,
We can like
yeah,
part hairs. But yeah, definitely a lot of pressure on Alec to perform mostly in the playoffs because like we need to see his attitude there
hmm
because he hasn't done great, but like
yeah,
even during the season he still needs to be good because he doesn't have that track record as the older guys do. He's a younger guy who still needs to prove he can be consistent.
It's already making me nervous. Just like when I was watching the game yesterday, there was one of his at bats specifically that I remember where he popped it up and he threw a fit as soon as he hit that. I'm like,
Mm,
dude, you are like 6, 7 games into the season. Like you cannot already be getting in
yeah.
your head about that. It's a pop up against the best team in baseball, against one of the best young pitchers in baseball right now. You like
Yeah.
you can't get in your head already. You have had an okay start to this season. Hasn't been great, but an okay start to this season.
Hmm.
And don't get in your head already. One pop up early in the season, not the end of the world.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. And he already has 3 errors. That worries me defensively.
Yeah,
But yeah, definitely the most pressure. Bryson Stott, I think I'm gonna go STP with this one
that's
because
exactly what I was
similarly,
thinking.
younger guy, we need him to
Mhm.
do better than last year. But
Yeah,
there's still some time. Everyone likes Bryson Stott. I think
yeah.
most people believe in him. Some people will say they don't, but like the
He's
general
shown enough.
consensus is believing in him.
He has shown enough bright moments that I think there's um, a lot of pressure on him, but also a lot of hope and a lot of
Yes.
potential in him. And I think
Hmm.
that Philly still believes in that. I don't think that there's been any talks or rumors of like, oh, what do we do with this stock guy? I think it's been pretty solid. Like he's our second baseman, and like that's kind of what it is right now. Like that's it.
Hmm. I think that's a great I think that's a great description of the difference between the make or break tier and the standard pressure tier is
Yes.
the amount of hope we have in them. If hope is
Yeah.
on the decline, you're going in make or break. But if hope is still good, then you're in STP or just do you.
Yeah.
Edmundo Sosa off to a
Oh,
fantastic start.
yeah, he is. Um,
Um, Honestly, I was gonna say just do you, but I might put him in chillin'. He's on the bench.
I think he's
He's
in
the
chillin'.
utility guy. He's just
I feel like
there's not much
anytime he
Edmundo Sosa
steps
could do wrong.
I feel like anytime he steps in, like, he does a good job.
Yeah.
And I think the fact that he is a bench guy, he'll step in and do a good job. If he steps in for a game and does a bad job, I don't think anybody's like, "Oh, get this Sosa guy out of here." I think it's
Yeah.
simply just like, "Oh, he's just a bench guy, so it's okay that he didn't do a great job." But then when he
Hmm.
does a good job, everybody's like, "Oh, yeah, he's our bench guy. He did a great job stepping in there." And when he filled Turner's shoes earlier this season, I think he did a great job. I think just chilling
Yeah.
is a
I
perfect place for him.
yeah, I agree. Let's go chillin'. Also, shout out the 2022 trade deadline for the Phillies. Dave Dombrowski
Yeah,
got Brandon Marsh and Edmundo Sosa, and they're both still here as key pieces of the team in 2025. That doesn't happen
absolutely.
at trade deadlines. You don't get
No,
long-term guys. So,
yeah,
blows my mind that we
that's
got
some
both of
great
them.
work. Yeah.
Also got Noah Syndergaard, but 2 out of 3. um, Next, we have Kyle Schwarber. I think we can safely put him with Bryce and just do you hit 40
Yeah,
home runs, and
yep,
that's all we need.
agreed. I doesn't matter that he's, like, looking at a contract soon, like, he's getting older, but if he's just gonna keep DHing and hitting 40 home runs a year, and even outside of home runs, like, he's been going crazy and already hit a bunch of home runs this year. He's just been the best hitter on the team this year already.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I mean, he said a few double
OPS
I don't
over
know
a
if he's
thousand,
had
I
that
think.
many doubles, but, like, he's just been the best hitter on the team this year. He's always on base, which he's
Hmm.
not the fastest, so I'd rather have like Trey Turner on base. But it's good
We'll
to
take
see him
it.
just hitting, which has been so good. So
Yeah,
yeah, just do you, Schwartz.
exactly. And yeah, contract year, which is looks a little bit more towards the future. I think that there's less pressure with Schwarber in a contract year than with JT, just because he hasn't like shown any signs of decline. JT has shown like some concerns,
Yeah.
and we haven't trusted him as much in the playoffs. Kyle, like we've never doubted when he comes up to the plate.
Oh,
That we've never
exactly.
been that
Yeah.
worried about him. JT,
Hmm.
that's happened sometimes. So I think that's why he
Yes.
goes in just to you. But it would be a huge blow if the Phillies lose Schwartz next year. So
Yeah.
hopefully he
That
sticks
would make
around, but
that.
definitely not guaranteed.
I mean, losing Schwarber would be really tough for that DH spot. Either you just have to bring
Yeah.
in a DH type bat, or because I don't even know on our team. I mean, what maybe? No,
Mike
yeah, I have
Trout,
no idea who would
DH.
DH.
That's my
Honestly, keep
master
him
plan.
healthy, just put him in DH.
Exactly. Yep.
Or get
That's
Shohei.
my
I don't
plan.
know.
Yeah. Um, yeah, it would also hurt off the field because he's like clearly one of the clubhouse leaders. Like him and Bryce
Oh yeah. Oh
are
yeah.
said to be the
Absolutely.
guys.
Hmm.
Next we go to the outfield. Brandon Marsh. I think I'd put him at STP. Some people, I could see someone making the case for make or break because
Yeah.
he's being given the full-time everyday opportunity, and we can't like stick with him in center field forever because Justin Crawford's coming up
Yep.
behind him. Like, I think next year could be make or break for Marsh,
Yeah.
but this year I'd put him at STP.
I think SCP is good. I think, yeah, I think less so than make or break. It's just like he's he's always been relatively solid. Like, he's not always been the best hitter, but he does hit more so than some of the other guys that
Rojas.
I feel, yeah, exactly. I think make or
Yeah.
break, or no, sorry, I think SCP is a good place for him, and I agree. I think moving along in the future could shift to make or break, but I think SCP is a good place right now.
Okay. Next, Nick Castellanos, another one of the older guys. I kind of want to put him in Just Do You, just because of his playoff
Yeah.
success with us last year. Just another the level of trust. I trust him more,
He's been
but also he
as weird
has
as
had
weird
some
as it
struggles.
sounds. As weird as it sounds, he has been one of our best playoff hitters the last couple of years. Like,
Oh yeah,
even when he struggles in the regular season, I feel like for the most part, he is probably one of our better playoff hitters. Um,
Mhm.
so yeah,
I also
I
don't
I
think he's
guess
as much of an X factor as some of these other guys. Like if Nick has a solid
agreed.
year, we're good. Like I don't think we're expecting Nick to take like a step forward this year.
I agree. I think it's also one of those things like losing Nick would probably hurt, but it's not like it would be as bad as losing Schwarber.
Yeah, yeah.
So I feel like Just Do is probably a good spot for him. If he just has another good year and then has a good playoffs or even a great playoffs, like that'll be
Hmm.
enough from him.
I think most of the veteran starters are gonna go in the Just Do
Probably.
You. Max Kepler, that's a first impressions one. Obviously,
Mm,
if he doesn't
yeah.
play well, he's on a 1 year deal. Like you want to make a good first impression, but 1 year deal, who
Hey,
knows if he'll be around.
I feel like Keps is off to a good start though. He's been doing pretty good.
Absolutely. He's
I
off
love
to a
it
great
because he
start.
was he was my guy and then you stole him from me.
He's still your guy. He's still you were the first one to be like, I think Max Kepler is going to have a good year in our preview.
Yeah.
So, and if he doesn't like the other guy, he doesn't have to be great, similar to Sosa.
Yeah,
It's just like we need you to be better than the left fielders we've had before, and that's not a high bar. Just be
exactly.
good, and
Yeah,
we're fine. So, yeah, first impressions. There's some pressure, but like it's not the end of the world if he doesn't
exactly.
pan out. Johan Rojas is interesting because it feels like they've started to give up on him already. So the hope is waning significantly. But he's
I
still
think
really young. And it's not like you have to be a key piece in our success this year. Like the expectations aren't very high either.
yeah, I it's hard because there's part of me that says that he could probably just be in STP, but there's also part of me that's like, you got to put him in make or break just because we've given him opportunities and he has not done anything with his bat. Obviously, he's really good defensively, but like, I really think like if he doesn't start to show that he can hit a baseball, they're not going to put much trust in him for much longer. Or he's just
Yeah.
going to ride the bench for the rest of his career.
Yeah. Yeah. And like if I said Brandon Marsh has to keep his eye on Justin Crawford coming for his spot, Rojas does even more because he'd be the one to get overtaken first, and
Absolutely.
then it would be Marsh. So
Yeah.
I'm good putting him in make or break
I think
because yeah,
I
he's
think that's a
definitely
good
running
place
out
for
of
him.
time. Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm good with that. All right, we're pretty balanced so far. I like this. This is
Yeah.
good.
Looking good.
Next we have Cody Clemens. Um,
I
was debated whether he would make the last bench spot. He did, which
Mhm.
I think was the right call between him and Buddy Kennedy, just because he's been
Yeah.
such a good contributor the last 2 years.
I feel like he's in a similar spot to Sosa. I feel like he could kind of just be chilling. I don't think there's a lot of pressure on Cody Clemens to make or break this team or even have an impact on this team. I think he just has to fill in on the occasional off day, you know, when we're playing like the Rockies or something like that. Just like
Hmm.
kind of be there. Maybe he'll move up and down between AAA and the Phillies throughout the year, but I think he's just kind of chilling.
Unfortunately, he can't because he's out of
Oh,
options. So that's the scary thing. I would say for him personally, the pressure is higher because of he's out of options. But for team
okay.
success,
Yeah.
chillin', yeah. He's gonna fill in. We again the level of trust, the level of hope. Like we believe in Sosa, we believe in Clemens. It's not like oh no, they're in the lineup, we're in
Yeah.
trouble. Like we totally trust them. So
He's
I
good.
think
He's
they're
good for a
chilling.
good hit here and there when we need it. So,
Yeah. Yeah. So that concludes the position players. Very balanced. We've got three in
yes.
the top three tiers, two in the bottom two tiers. I mean, the bench basically makes up the bottom tiers, which makes sense. When you trust your bench guys, I think that's a sign of a good team. The most pressure is our starting third baseman and our starting shortstop, which I don't love, and then also Rojas, who technically is a bench player now. But
Yeah.
on to the starting pitchers. Zach Wheeler.
Just do
I
you, man.
think, yeah, I thought chillin' for a second, but just do you because we do need him to be good. He's
There is
talented.
pressure on him because if Zach Wheeler has a
Yeah,
bad year, well, that's
yeah,
not good at all.
yeah.
But
I agree.
if he just does him, there's nothing wrong with what he will do.
Yeah, agreed. That's an easy one. Nola, I think also just do you. I think a lot of people will say standard
Mhm.
STP, standard pressure, because partially because he had a bad first outing and people overreacted to that. Like
Yeah.
Nola's never had a bad outing. I think that's just kind of who he is. Like he's not going to be a sub 3 ERA, but he's always going to
Yeah.
be sub 4 or like around 4. Like we're
And
just
I
going to get
feel
consistency.
like even just like with the experience that we've seen in the last couple years, like
Hmm.
even when he has had a rougher or shakier like regular season, he still has a good postseason.
Yeah, the trust. We
Yeah,
trust him.
I think
So,
just do you is a good place for him.
yeah.
He's never gonna he won't be as solid as Wheeler, but he's gonna be a solid pitcher that we can trust in that starting spot. He's always gonna
Hmm.
be the number two
Yeah. Yeah,
or
which
three
is crazy
or
to
wherever
say
they have
because he
him.
was our ace when we were like not making the play. He was our ace for
Yeah,
years, and then Wheeler came in, and all of a sudden it's like, whoa! But Nola is obviously one of the best number twos you can have, so that is
yeah,
not a slight to him.
absolutely.
Nola slander will not be tolerated here, especially by me. So yeah, I think just do you
Yeah,
uh makes sense there. This is also this tier list is kind of doubles as a how much do we trust you?
yeah,
That's
yeah.
like that's a big part of this formula to decide where
I
somebody
think yeah,
goes.
that's a really good way to say to how this is.
Next we have Christopher Sanchez. Honestly, I don't know where to put him
Mm,
because I believe in him a lot.
yeah,
But if he starts off the year not where he was last year, which I'm not worried about, like he's added muscle, he's added velocity, everything's trending up for Christopher
yeah.
Sanchez.
I
Hmm,
feel like
it's a tough one.
maybe. Oh man, this is hard.
Could we
I
put
feel
him
like
in first impressions? Because he's not. Obviously, it's not his first year or even second. I think it's his third year in the majors, but it's his first year after signing the extension. So it's like your
yeah,
first impression, your first time in a full season where you're locked in. You know you're gonna be here.
I think first impressions is a fine place to put him. I think it's different with pitchers where even if they played part of the season with you, it's hard to judge a pitcher until you've seen a full season of them, just because they
Hmm.
don't play every game.
Yeah, small
But I
sample
think first
size.
impressions is a fine place for him. I think this
Okay.
season will really tell us, all right, was it worth giving him that extension or not?
Hmm. Yeah, because like I would be fine. I would consider putting him in chillin' or just do you. I think there's a wide range for him. Because
Yeah,
like he could be our fourth best starter and we're fine. Like it's not the same
yeah,
level of pressure as the aces, But like, obviously, we want him to be good so we can keep up with
Yeah,
the Dodgers and the top tier
absolutely.
teams. So
Yeah.
go first impressions. Ranger Suarez. This is definitely a top 2. Another contract year
Yeah.
guy. Everything I've been seeing, it's like people are not thinking that it's very likely that Ranger comes back after this
I
year.
think it's make or break for him. I really
Okay.
think that's where he belongs. We've seen some really, really, really good Ranger, and we've seen some really, really awful Ranger. Um, and yeah, with
Yeah.
it being a contract year, I think it's just like, how does he do this year? How does it impact the
Hmm.
team? And that's just a big determining factor. I think he's very make or break.
Yeah. And literally break. Like, don't let your body break down. We need Ranger to stay healthy because
Yeah,
that's been a big issue. Um,
absolutely.
so his health is a big part of that. And he's him and Trey. I do trust. I would say Ranger's the guy in the make or break tier right now that I trust the most out of those 4.
Mm,
I do trust
yeah,
him. Like even last year, he was clearly struggling the whole second half, and like somehow in the most miraculous start I've seen in a long time in against the Mets in game 4, managed to hold them off despite loading
yeah,
the bases like 2 times. Like it was
hmm
crazy. That was the most
yeah,
Ranger Suarez thing ever. Like he just found a way
yeah,
somehow.
yep,
Um so like I think he's under a lot of pressure. Team success, it's less than personally, but it's still a lot. We are going to count on Ranger Suarez, and the
yeah.
contract here adds it. Um yeah, Jesus Luzardo.
I
Honestly, it
mean,
might be
first,
chilling, but I think we could go first impression.
I think go first impressions. Just, I mean, we've only seen him in 2 outings, but they've been 2 phenomenal outings. So
Yeah, dude, I'm so glad they got him. The rotation is looking absolutely crazy if Jesus
so
Luzardo is going to
good,
keep pitching like
so
this,
good.
dude.
Yeah,
It's ridiculous. And he seems like he's going to fit right in Philly. Like he's talked about the intensity of the city. Like he loves that. He feeds off of
hmm
that.
yeah,
But either Bryce or Schwarbs, I think when we got him, talked about like because he faced us in the playoff series in 2023 when the
okay,
Marlins were at the
yeah,
bank when we beat him in 2 games. But he was like, "Oh yeah, Luzardo was like locked in. He loved that
hmm
atmosphere. So it'll be
yeah,
nice having him on our side in those
yeah,
games,
for sure.
ideally." So he's built like that. Taiwan Walker. This is a really interesting one because the expectations are so
Yeah,
low, but
hmm
also so is the hope that like we're not expecting. There's a very very low expectation of him that it's really hard. Like I don't think we definitely can't put him in make or break. I think it's between
No,
STP and Just Do You, because again,
I
it's
don't
not
want
the end of the
Taiwan
world
to
if
just do
Taiwan doesn't
him.
have a great performance.
I feel like it's got to be STP because you're right. It's not the end of the world. But if we tell Taiwan to just do him and he just does him and gives up 10 runs in 1 inning, like
Yeah,
that's not good. I
that's
would
fair.
say STP because
Okay.
I don't want
Yeah.
Taiwan to just do him.
Yeah. I'm good with that. I guess if I was thinking of Just Do Him as like former Taiwan Walker, what we've seen before, but based on last
Yeah,
year, don't do that again. We don't want him again.
no, yeah.
But
I
his
think
first
there's a
start was
little
great.
pressure. I think there's a little pressure in the sense of like he's got like it's nice to see him do good for the success of the team, but
Hmm.
it's also not make or break. Like Taiwan Walker being an ace is not going to be
Yeah.
like a make or break on the team. It's not what we need from
Yeah.
him. So
Yeah. Even though we did pay him a lot of
yeah,
money, but it's fine. His first start was great. The offseason reports have been positive. I don't completely trust those because like they're trying to be optimistic about him,
yeah,
and his velocity didn't really increase. So like the metrics are not there. That like
yeah,
oh there's these signs with like Sanchez and Luzardo of like oh they're throwing harder, so we can predict that they'll do better. Walker doesn't have that. It's
yeah,
just like hey he's been working real hard in the off season. It's like hopefully that translates. That's good to hear. But he looked great against the Rockies, which is a really impressive team to shut down.
yeah.
But we'll take it. We'll take it. I shouldn't be complaining about that. And then we'll wrap it up with the bullpen.
hmm
Jordan Romano. I really thought it was Romano, but everyone's been saying Romano. So Jordan Romano, coming over from the Blue Jays, another 1-year deal guy.
Yeah.
I don't think that he goes in first impressions, honestly, because I think he was brought in to play a pretty pivotal role in the bullpen. He was our main bullpen addition. So I
Yeah.
think he might go in STP.
I think that's fine. I think that's yeah, if he's gonna be one of those go-to guys, I think it's important that he does good.
I don't think he's like, again, with the grading within tiers, I don't think he's top of the STP. I
Yeah.
think he's bottom of the STP because he is still 1-year guy,
Yeah.
not crazy. Like, we don't, it's not the old days where it's like, this is our closer and we need him to be locked down all the time. Like, we have other pieces in the bullpen. He's not trying to be our number
Mhm.
one, but
Yeah.
he was the one guy that you brought in, and you basically need him to replace the production of Jeff Hoffman unless other people
Yeah.
step up. And Hoffman had a great year. So for the
Absolutely.
bullpen success, would love him to be great. Orion Kerkering, I think I would
Mhm.
also put in STP, similar to Stott and Marsh. Of like, okay, you're a young guy, but like you're getting
Yep.
into your mid-20s. Like, we need to see you continue progressing.
Exactly. Yeah. I think that's a great spot for him. I agree. Young. Very similar to Stott and Marsh, like you said. So
hmm I'm excited for Kerkering this year. I'm high on him. I took him in the WAR draft. I think
yeah,
he can really step it up this year,
absolutely.
and it'd be huge if he does. Tanner Banks,
Mm,
um, the secondary, or sorry, the third lefty in the bullpen. Forgot about Strom for a
yeah.
second. The third lefty in the bullpen. I
feel
think
like
I'd put him in first impressions. He
I was gonna
joined
say I
us
think we
last
can go
year,
in
but
first
didn't pitch much.
impressions. No. I think
This is his
yeah,
first
first
full
impressions is
year.
a good spot for him. Just to see really how he will be in our bullpen. Um,
hmm We
if
don't
he's gonna
need
be
him
a
to be
good
locked
go-to
down.
option or if he's gonna yeah. Yeah, I think
hmm
first impressions is a good spot for him.
Yeah. Joe Ross, who is also new to the Phillies, first impressions type.
Mhm.
I think he's kind of chilling. Like, if he's really bad, it's not the
Not
end
gonna
of the
make or break the
world for the
Phillies team. Yeah.
Phillies. Like, his upside is great because, yeah, if he's good, it's like, oh, this is awesome. And if he's bad, then it's like, oh well, that's
It
not
wasn't
great.
yeah, it wasn't like a crucial thing. Yeah, I think chilling is a good
Yeah.
spot for him.
I think Joe Ross was a good pickup. Former starting pitcher. Like, I think he can be a really good option as a swing guy when you need multiple innings. Like, a veteran. I think that was, yeah, a good pickup by the Phillies. So I'm high
Yeah.
on him. Carlos Hernandez, who has a different shaped headshot, as you can see,
Yeah, I
because
noticed
he
that.
literally joined the Phillies like 2 days before spring training ended, or like the final week. They grabbed him at the
Yeah.
last second because the Royals put him on waivers. First impressions, I think, because he's been in the league for a little bit. He's not like an established guy. Basically, I think the analysis from the Phillies was like, he has good stuff, but he's wild, and we think we can
Yeah.
tame him, like a Jose Alvarado type of deal. So,
Yeah.
but we're not expecting him to be locked down similar to Banks. So,
Yeah.
first impressions, I think, is a good spot for him. And then Jose Alvarado, I think there's a wide range for him too, because his performance
Yeah.
varies a
Yeah,
lot.
for sure.
He's got
Um,
high highs and low lows.
I feel
And he,
like
again,
this
another guy who
is
came into spring training looking great.
yeah. I feel like this is something that wavers between STP and make or break. Like, I mean,
Make or break.
I guess you could even go down towards just do you though. Like,
That's
wow,
where
there is
I
a
would lean.
you think like it's just there's such two different types of Alvarado, and it's
Yeah.
like it's so polar which one you get, and it's like so it's hard to say like just do you when I guess if Alvarado does just do him and pitches well, he's like we're gonna be fine. But with those innings where he just starts to lose guys, those are the bad like those never pan out good.
Yeah, it's really a question of the word "you" in this tier, which "you" is the "you" that we're getting? Good Jose Alvarado or
Yeah.
bad Jose Alvarado?
I guess
I think
if we're looking,
the optimist in me generally thinks of Jose Alvarado as a dominant relief pitcher. So
yeah,
I would be good with just do you
I think
because
just
I'm
do you is fine.
optimistic.
Yeah.
I know there's some people who are very easily agitated by him and would put him higher and say there's more pressure and he needs to be better. Like I was watching the Phillies Rockies Sunday game where the Phillies were up 3-0 and Alvarado came in, should have been an easy save, and he made it much more stressful than it needed to be. Still got it done, but like, yeah, it took
Yeah.
him a while. And I was in the press box watching it while the Iron Pigs were playing their road game, and there was a high school game that we were hosting happening on the field, and so there was like this old guy who was like with the television network that was broadcasting the high school game, and he was watching, and he was just an angry old man at Alvarado. He was like, "Welcome to the Phillies bullpen. This is what they do." And then like it, yeah. So those people would say there's more pressure on Alvarado, but I trust him, so we'll give him a more generous spot. Jose Ruiz.
Mm.
I don't think we can put him in first impressions because we saw him last year.
Yeah.
I would describe him as just kind of mid. So where does that put him?
Maybe chilling, just because it's like not super impactful on the team, or standard temperature and pressure, just to add like be like, all right, you still got to be something for our bullpen,
Yeah.
or maybe even just do you, like you're so mid that it's like if you go out and do your thing, it's good enough for us.
Yeah, like just don't be atrocious. Just be
Yeah,
okay. We don't
just be
need you. No
okay.
one's when Jose Ruiz comes out of the bullpen, no one's like, yes. It's more just like, don't mess this up too bad.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Just get it.
I
Yeah,
think
I don't
just do
know.
you makes sense.
I think that's fine. Yeah.
We'll roll with that. All right. We've got a nice little bell curve now going on. I like this.
hmm
This is good. Last but definitely not least, Matt Strom. Where should we put him?
My inclination says chillin simply so it could be symmetrical, but I don't think that's the right place for him. So
Yeah. We could reorganize this after we put Strom in and be like, wait, okay, can we move anyone? That's a great point.
I think that maybe standard temp like STP. I think that might be like we've seen some stuff out of him the last couple of years, and he's been good, been okay, been good again. Like I think there's just been some like up and downs with him, but I think there's a little pressure. I think he's one of the more veteran, like at least Phillies veteran guys in our bullpen. Um, he's seen the Phillies in the playoffs a couple times now, and so I think like it'll be important for him to do good. I think he needs to be again. We don't have Hoffman this year, so I think it's important that Strom
Yeah.
is one of those go-to guys.
Yeah, I think that's a great way of putting it. He has to be a go-to guy. I trust him a lot, so the trust
hmm
level is high, but also the like expectations are high. So I think that's
Yeah,
what bumps him up in pressure. Is like I believe he can do it, but we're
I
also
yeah I
expecting
agree.
more of him.
I think we've seen some good stuff out of him, and there is belief in him, and he showed that we can trust him. But there's a little more pressure because he has to be that go-to guy this year, or one of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so I feel weird that we have less pressure on Jose Alvarado than Matt Strom. Like comparing a 1-to-1. If
Yeah.
we have our list here and let's make some modifications if
Do you
needed.
think do you think we need to bump Jose up? Does he need to be one of those guys where it's like, all right, you need to be one of our go-to guys. You've
I
been on the
yeah.
Phillies for a number of years now. Like you just
Mhm.
need to be one of those go-to guys, and I think there's the pressure for that. Yeah, I
I
agree.
think yeah,
I
we
think
looking at where everyone else falls, like I don't think having more pressure on Strom than Alvarado makes sense. I also think like with seeing Alvarado next to Wheeler and Nola, I'm like, no, I don't think
yeah,
you belong in that tier. So
yeah, a
yeah,
little more pressure on
let's
Albie. Yeah.
let's move him up. Are there any other adjustments, like stepping back, looking at it as a whole now? Is there anything else that you're looking at of like, we could maybe move that guy because there's a little bit more or a little bit less pressure on him. I feel pretty good. I don't think there's like a crazy amount of
I think
changes
it's pretty good.
for
I
me.
think I think the weirdest thing for me, and I think it fits. I think we made the right choice, but it's just seeing JT up there when pretty
Mm,
much every other veteran Philly go-to guy for the last couple of years is down and just do you. Like, and
yeah.
I get why he's there. It makes sense, but it is a little weird. It's just like, all right, JT has been a guy we've trusted for a number of years now.
Hmm.
But no, I mean it makes
Yeah.
sense. I
Yeah.
think it fits.
I think it's a little symbolic. The first three in our standard pressure row are the three guys who did the worst at the plate in the Mets series. I know Stott
Mhm.
had the clutch triple, and that was a huge moment, but like statistically, the 7, 8, 9
Yeah,
hitters were so bad in that series. And
yeah.
stat that I saw a couple games ago, so I don't know if it's still true, but so far this season, the Phillies 7, 8, 9 hitters in their order have the best batting average in baseball by like 50 points.
Wow.
So that's
Hey,
great. That was the big
take it.
weakness. I love that stat. Um,
I do love that. Yeah.
it is weird. The just do you tier is like all of the core guys we've counted on for the last 3 years, and then JT is up above them with more pressure on him. I think
Yeah.
Christopher Sanchez feels a little weird in first impressions too, but like
Mm,
I
yeah.
still think he does need one more year. Like last year was his breakout, and so I think that this year I don't think he's in just do you territory yet. So I think first impressions
No.
is where he had to
Yeah.
go.
I think it's a good place for
So
him. We saw some good stuff out of him last year, but it's still fresh. It's still new. Like I'm not fully like, yeah, no, I think first impressions is good. Yeah.
yeah. So there you go. That's our official 2025 how much pressure are they under Phillies tier list. It's kind of a wordy title, but
Hopefully we'll
you know,
revisit this again around the All-Star break and then
mhm,
maybe right before the playoffs, assuming we make
yeah.
the playoffs. Um,
I mean, they
um,
better, or else
this team better
there will
make the
be
playoffs.
problems. There will be
But
major problems. Yeah,
yeah, so hopefully we'll revisit it a couple times this year. And
definitely.
you guys let us know what you think about this list so that we can, when we revisit it, we will take that into consideration.
Hmm.
Um, yeah.
Yeah, playoff pressure tier list is gonna go crazy.
Ooh,
That's gonna be
that'll
fun.
go so crazy. We might have to even
Yeah.
like rename things and just like
Oh,
create a totally
absolutely.
different thing for
Yeah.
playoff pressure because I feel like that's so different. Playoff pressure is so different than just
Yeah.
regular season expectations.
Yeah. The playoff tiers are just gonna be like red or green, either make or break or chilling. No in between.
Yeah.
Um, I'll probably even rename them for the All Star break because I might take out first impressions. You played half a season
Yeah.
with us. I don't know. We'll see. Who knows? That's a long ways away. So, thank
We'll
you guys for
see.
watching. Like Luke said, let us know your thoughts, what you agreed on, what you disagreed on, and if you want to see more tier lists, because I've been seeing
Yeah.
for the last like. I make it sound like it's a new thing. For the last like year and a half, I've been seeing a lot of people doing tier lists. So we're
I
just
like tier
jumping on
lists. They're
now.
fun.
But yeah, I thought that was good too. So we might have to do that again. So thank you guys for watching. Go Phillies.
Go Phillies.